that people have to understand. A conventional mortgage, you borrow the money, and every month you make a payment on that mortgage. If you miss a payment, as we've talked about in past shows, the house will be foreclosed on, you lose the house. The reverse mortgage, you borrow the money, and as Jackie was explaining, there's different ways you can borrow it out, and we'll get into some more detail on that. But the important distinction is that a reverse mortgage is not paid back until the person who borrowed the money dies, and then their estate has to pay the money back.
Yeah, there are a few limitations with that. If they sell, of course, you're free to sell the home, so you still own the home, just like you did in a conventional mortgage. You still have your responsibilities. You have to pay your taxes and your insurance, and just like with a conventional loan, if you don't pay your taxes, you're considered in default, and your reverse mortgage company could call the loan. Also, if you sell the house, then you have to pay off the reverse mortgage. Or if the individual resides out of the house for 12 consecutive months, that's considered being away from the home, and that may trigger a payoff on your reverse mortgage.
And I think we should probably pursue that a little bit. If someone is outside of the home, and that may mean if you're a senior citizen and you had a hospital stay, it's not a short stay, it becomes a long stay. If you need rehab, Jackie, what is that? What's 12 months? 12
consecutive months. So, if there's a period where you're in and you're out for 3 months and going back, it's 12 consecutive months. Or if they're in assisted living or they have to go into a nursing home, provided you're there for 12 consecutive months, that will trigger your acceleration clause on the reverse mortgage, and it would have to be sold.
Right.
The house would have to be sold.
As Jackie was explaining, the similarities between a regular mortgage and a reverse mortgage is it's a lien on your property. Just like the mortgage is a lien on your property, when you borrow the money, the mortgage is taken out against your house. If you sell your home, you have this lien that has to be satisfied. So whether it's a conventional mortgage or a reverse mortgage, one of the things that will trigger the repayment, as Jackie says, is the sale of the home, because you can't sell the home to someone else without removing that lien.
And by the way, with liens, while we're on the topic, in order to receive your reverse mortgage, any existing lien on the property does have to be paid from the reverse mortgage. So it's a way of also paying off the existing debt on the property. And there are a whole other list of requirements. For instance, there has to be equity in the property. The property can't exceed a certain value. The individual borrowing the money has to be 62 or older. It's all regulated by federal government, HUD.
And it's useful in different situations.
That's the upside. We also understand that while there can be good value in having a home equity loan, many people who are considered to be house rich and cash poor, that's why Jackie can be explaining the positive side, except it's fraught with problems too, as we've understood it. Those who either aren't ethical in how they portray or depict what's being done. Why don't you go through some of the issues that people should be aware of, because from what we've been reading, there certainly are some pitfalls or potential pitfalls.
Well, I think anybody who is going to pursue a reverse mortgage needs to know first and foremost that it is regulated by the federal government. So if a bank comes to you and says, we're going to charge you $7,500 or $8,000 in closing costs, that is not, it's not within the certain mandates. The closing costs can't exceed $6,000. Now, some people may say, I don't have that kind of money, how am I going to pay that? Well, the good side of that is that can actually be financed into the loan. So if anybody's saying a bank or a broker is trying to tell you the closing costs are going to exceed $6,000, then that's a red flag. The other thing the federal government mandates is that before someone can even sign a document for reverse mortgage, they have to have a counseling program. So usually it's an approved counselor, and it's a safeguard for the families and for the borrowers and their families, and it's free of charge. Again, it's given by a nonprofit agency, again mandated by federal government. The issue with the family is, okay, and you know where I'm going with this because you're smiling, the family feels as though they are going to lose out on their potential inheritance because the reverse mortgage, although you're not paying it back, it does get paid back over time, so the longer you live, the higher the balance will go up. And if you have longevity in a family, I have a great aunt who just turned 105, God knows what that's going to be, you know, and the family always have concerns over what their future inheritance would be.
I've had several cases that we've recommended the use of reverse mortgage. It does not always work. It's not always the right thing to do. But if you're an older person and you've run out of money to live the lifestyle that you want to live, you have to weigh and balance exactly what Jackie said. Do I want to make my life more comfortable now at the risk of not having anything left to leave to my children, or do I want to suffer and struggle and leave something to my children at the end? And that is a difficult balancing act sometimes to do. But as an advocate for the elderly and an older person, I had a situation where a woman has a house with equity. It had a first mortgage on it, but very small. And she couldn't afford her life. Her credit cards were maxed out. Her bills for utilities and electric heat and so forth were all behind. And she was not making it month to month. The problem was that the only asset she had was the house. And if she could have filed bankruptcy, perhaps she could have wiped out the other debts and had enough to live on to pay the first mortgage and taxes, but she couldn't file bankruptcy. She filed before. So my recommendation was take out a reverse mortgage, borrow enough money to pay off all of the debts that you have, and free up your lifestyle so you can afford to live month to month and have food. That's much more important than having an asset to leave to your children at that point.
It's interesting, David, you mentioned that someone came to you or you spoke to someone about a reverse mortgage. Most frequently you hear of those taking place with a financial advisor, perhaps a bank or a credit union, and those who are ethical, and I guess we have to underscore the importance of finding someone who's ethical and checking, having the right referrals so that you know that the person is ethical or the institution is ethical. They can help you evaluate what the best course of action is. Reverse mortgages carry with them, as I understand, heavy debt load or cost, as Jackie explained.
Well, it just depends on how much the individual wants to borrow. So if they need, let's say, in my case before, the individual needed an extra $500 a month, and maybe the individual wanted to pay for a new roof or do some repairs. Let's say all they're doing is just using $20,000. That amount will grow as the person ages, the longer they live. If they want to borrow $200,000, and again, you can do whatever you want with the money, provided you pay off the existing liens and mortgages on the house, that amount is going to grow. Sometimes they'll just give you a line of credit. It's just like a checkbook, which works just like a conventional homeowner line of credit, where you're just writing a check as you need it. So it's as needed basis.
And that probably is an interesting point to bring up, because in fact, when a reverse mortgage happens, you know that can be expensive money. Home equity loans, which or as you're talking about, or being able to write a check, can sometimes make that easier for someone. Now, if they go to a lawyer, such as yourselves, you have no vested interest in either one, yet a reverse mortgage is something you're more likely to be directly involved in. And what would you do with someone who is in that kind of financial situation to be asking either or?
Let me go back to that example. The first thing we looked at for that woman was whether or not she could get a home equity line of credit. As you were saying, reverse mortgages are expensive. The fees are high. The good thing is you don't have to have the money up front to pay for them. You can borrow it, but the fees are high. The line of credit situation, you're just going to be paying interest monthly. Usually there's no cost to get a line of credit. The woman wouldn't qualify for a line of credit given her financial situation with all the outstanding debt on her credit cards. The first mortgage was starting to fall behind. The utility bill she had, she couldn't qualify. The only loan she could get was a reverse mortgage. We looked at that first. The other thing you should understand is, as Jackie was explaining, there are different ways you can take the money in a reverse mortgage. You can take it in a lump sum and use it as you want, as Jackie was explaining. In the case we had, the woman had enough income if she didn't have all those other bills to make ends meet. So all she needed was the lump sum. She could have taken it as a lump sum with a line of credit, or you can take the money monthly as income and say, pay me $500 a month.
Supplement your income.
Supplement your income every month if that's what you need to get through. What grows is, if you take the money monthly, as Jackie was explaining, that grows as the loan grows, the interest grows. And the concern of the relatives in that case is, if the interest grows and she lives for a long time, there's going to be no equity left in the house. I'm not getting anything. That's true. But what's in your mom's best interest?